When it comes to Putin and Xi Jinping, they are part of the axis of evil. They use North Korea to go shoot off missiles and destabilize that Pacific Rim area. They are two peas in a pod. They are thugs.
Okay, so I have a very interesting find I want to share with you guys. It's not often that I get the privilege of finding confirmation of what's supposed to be, I'm sure, classified information by a slip of the tongue of somebody talking. So with that in mind, enjoy this little clip. But then there was interesting find at the end of this clip as well. I did do a video a while back showing and pointing out the missiles and stuff like that. I haven't heard anything from anybody, and I've been watching constant news sources and outlets for many different things, for different topics and different reasons. But when I found this, and I did a quick little screenshot so I could hurry up and save it before something happened to it while I continued to look for more information on the topics I was looking for, I also found something so interesting at the very end of this clip. So with that in mind, I'm going to elaborate at the very end of my clip, because this is often how Spirit talks to many of us. Sometimes we don't hear it, sometimes we catch it, but I like to point it out for a big reason, because this is just one of the many ways.
They are two peas in a pod. They are thugs.
Everything is attempted to be conveyed to all of you that everything is what it is. Wake up to the fact and the reality that this is what it is and this is what is going on. And I am doing my best to tell you all, because this is part of my job, my duty as being the bride of Spirit, as being the wife of God. This is my duty. This is part of everything, regardless. If nobody out there is standing with me, Spirit stands with me, God stands with me. So many do stand with me, even if they don't have the nerve or the courage to say so completely the way that they should, because their attention is still not on the appropriate things, because they are still not realizing the times of what it is. So with this in mind, I hope you enjoyed this little clip of further validation of many things I constantly attempt to tell you guys. So enjoy!
When it comes to Putin and Xi Jinping, they are part of the axis of evil. They use Iran for their proxies. They use North Korea to go shoot off missiles and destabilize that Pacific Rim area, the ASEAN countries. They are two peas in a pod. They are thugs.
The information you're about to watch is concerning many missiles that were used during the time of the Tonga volcano explosion. This information is disturbing but true, but further taking a look at satellite images, when using different views and perspectives, you were able to see the fact that there were different explosions going on. The volcano was used to be a distraction for the numerous other missiles that were fired during this time. They used the covering of night as well as the cloud cover to hide their exact location. But thus remember, as the shockwave began to move across the world, and as it rippled across, it further helped show the true dimples and indentations where other explosive devices were set off. Again, I tell you, ships were hiding. There was an entire fleet, many ships, submarines, and who knows what other types of vessels were used to launch many different forms of missiles and explosive devices. Now I tell you, wake up, this is the truth and people need to be aware of it. Okay, so I'm doing a quick add-on. So the comment relating towards the Koreans was because they had permission on that particular day to do testing, but they looked for loopholes and did things with China and Russia to help cover their exact reasons for their testings and what actually happened in the Pacific Ring, which is where the Tonga volcano erupted, which was not a normal eruption. And they are keeping this from you because they are afraid of the consequences of what's going to come out of this. But worse consequences are coming out of this by not letting the people know the truth. So I am trying to share the truth with you so you can be prepared, because a lot worse disaster is on the way here in many ways, shapes, and form. And none of you are being properly informed. But I am trying.
When it comes to Putin and Xi Jinping, they are part of the axis of evil. They use North Korea to go shoot off missiles and destabilize that Pacific Rim.
You should be highly alarmed at the information I'm about to show you. If you take a closer look at the volcano explosion, you will see that there was an intentional additional detonations right there, right in the middle of the screen, showing you where additional explosive devices were put on top of the volcano after they had already sent a few in. So with this in mind, I'm really hoping you'll start to open your eyes and realize that there was many missile explosive devices going on during this time of the explosion. Again, I tell you, this was not a natural eruption. That's why people who study volcanoes can't explain this, because that's right here was done by a missile explosive device put into this area. Look at that. That is a additional explosion on top of the cloud of the volcano. Come on now. So for those of you who may not be aware of some really important things you need to take big notice to right now. One, if you are living anywhere in the area of where a volcano is, you need to relocate and fast, because everybody anywhere and everywhere that lives by natural disasters that can be used against you, the public in any area around this whole world, will be in higher jeopardy because of what they have already decided to do to use the earth against you for their own reasons. Furthermore, you need to understand by what they did with the Tonga volcano eruption, which was clearly not natural. It was done by explosive devices, undercover and hiding a lot of things right in plain sight for so many of us, has huge ramifications for what they have done. If you don't understand, then you need to look at the weather that's been going on. You need to consider the increase of seismic activity around the Pacific Ring of Fire and other things that are going on. All of these things are part of one, what was foretold that would happen and occur, as well as these are the consequences for what they are doing. They are going to end up destroying the world. But nobody is actually doing anything about it. Not really. Let's all hush and keep our mouth closed and not tell people to move, especially if they are in a risk area where things are about to get way worse than what people can even begin to fathom, because they are so blind and ignorant to what is actually going on every level. It is disturbing, exciting, and, well, just pure, beautiful God work at the same time. These horrible events that are going on around the world. Everything has been showing you the whole time what it is, but you chose to be blind and ignorant to the truth. Now I tell you, that time needs to be over. You need to react now. You need to take the precautions necessary now, because there's not much time left. Because really soon, things are about to hit the fan, big and bad, and in many ways. And if you don't understand, then I don't know what to tell you. Move on. Now, if you get it and you understand, then you need to go into hyperdrive right now and start doing what you should have been doing a lot harder than what you have been doing. And do something now, because things are only going to get worse everywhere. And there's no way out of it. All you can do is know that God sent a way, and be prepared to do what God has given you the appropriate awareness to react to. Seriously. Now, I get it. with a lot of my stuff, not everyone's going to be able to understand everything because they are not able to have the ability to have the mental capacity to take it for what it is because they have lived so deceived for so long. But now is the time to stop. If you realize that we all only have one God and that God loves all of us, there is no separation from where you are born, what nationality you are, what color of skin you are, if you've had a good life or a bad life. That right there is total nonsense, because if you're worshiping the right God, you know He loves all. He loves those who destroys things. He loves those who creates things. He loves those who seek Him out, because those who seek Him out, even if they are wrong or misguided or misled, He gets what's really going on. And all you can do is strive to be the best you could be, because when your day comes and He says, what did you do with your life? What decisions did you decide to make as an individual for the greater good of all? Because that's all. And how are you going to feel on that day? I know I will always feel like I wish I could have done more, but it's why I do what I do 24/7, because this is my life, because of the reality of what it is. So come on, there's not much time left.